we're going to start with introducing ourselves. My name's Brianna Wilkins.
I'm Annie Scaglione.
I'm Nick O'Keefe.
And I'm Kevin Bosner.
And we are Team Tutoring.
So a little bit about Team Tutoring, what we basically are. We're an on-demand online platform that is bringing tutors and students together instantly. And we'll do that through chat forums, screen sharing technology we'll be using GoToMeeting, and then instructional videos. And this is our logo. And so a little bit about our logo is we're using blue and purple. The blue represents kind of like trust, because obviously our customers are going to need to trust us because we're kind of communicating with them with a stranger almost. And then the purple is creative, just to like enhance like the learning. And then our three members up there would be like the team that we're kind of creating with the student, their parent, and then the tutor.
Okay, so these are the problems that we see a lot of students facing these days. It's hard to find trustworthy tutors. It's hard to find last-minute tutors. The night before a test, you may not, when it's 10 o'clock at night, you may not have the accessibility to get your questions answered last minute. And a lot of people have difficulty finding qualified tutors. If you just look up on the internet, tutors in my area, and you get a list of people, you don't really know anything about them and whether or not they know the curriculum that your school is teaching. A solution. Team Tutoring is going to provide a database of tutors, so we'll have all their credentials listed, and we really want to focus on keeping our tutors within your school district so that you're getting people who best know your curriculum. And then we want to make sure that you guys have access to last-minute tutors, whether that be through the screen sharing technology that we had mentioned, our chat forums, or our tutor videos. And we'll also be creating a social media platform for instructors to post tutoring videos, because we know that a lot of students these days use social media, so that might be easier for you guys to kind of relate to. We have two customers. Our first customer being the buyer. Our buyers are the parents of the students. Our parents are concerned about their kids' grades. Not necessarily that the kids are failing, but we know that the parents think that their kids can do better. We want them, or we think they should have a household income of $50,000 plus so that they can comfortably afford our tutoring service. Live in District 211 and have a demanding schedule. Your mom might not be able to get you to a 6 o'clock appointment at Sylvan if you have other kids who have, other commitments, so you want to keep that in mind. And then our next customer, obviously the user, is the student. We're looking for students who are passionate about school and want to strive to obtain better grades, whether it just be getting that A- to an A, just anything like that. Another thing that we are keeping in mind is we're looking, a lot of students these days are involved in athletics, have jobs, or involved in extracurricular activities. So we understand that a lot of kids are going in early for school now or staying late, so they might not be able to, meet with a teacher or go to a brick and mortar place like Sylvan and live in District 211.
So our TAM is around $32,000 or $32 million. We get that from 55 million students across the entire U.S. and 2 million just in Illinois. Narrowing it down a little bit more, we have 32 across the the surrounding districts, D211, D214, the middle schools are D54, and then D220, which is just Barrington. The SAM around 11,000 is just D211, so the 5 high schools. And then the market share, 88 users, which is 69% of just Conant High School. And then times our price 2483, which is after the $24 fee or cost that we pay the tutors, and then credit card fees, and that is a market share of 0.82%. And then financial model, Conant and Barrington would be like the first 2 years, and then over the course we'd expand to the rest of the neighboring districts, and then eventually nationwide by year 5.
Okay, so our competition, our indirect competition would start off like brick and mortar places. So there's like Sylvan, Huntington. I put Sylvan up here because it's the most known, probably the most popular as well. So their shortcomings are only brick and mortar, so probably around 9 to 6 are their average hours. So if you can't get there, you practice, you obviously have school till 3:30. Practice for most sports ends at 6, so you won't be able to get there. It's also very, very expensive. I've called them, my brother actually goes there, and it's like 75, usually starting at 75 an hour, and evaluations go up to almost like 200. So you're paying like $275 just to walk in the door basically. And then, so we're saying, I think we're better than Sylvan because obviously we sell that aspect of convenience. We can give tutoring at any time of the day basically, or night. And we're just a lot more cost effective than them obviously. And then our more direct competitor, which is another kind of like online, not really tutoring service, but it's called studypool.com, and it's not very popular, so I'll explain it. It's just basically what you do is you type in a question, and after like the more characters the question, you start paying more. And it's kind of like you just post it up there, and if you want to answer faster, you pay more. But like you could post one up at 9 at night and not get like an answer till 7 in the morning, so you don't know when your question's going to be answered. So I think why we're better than that is you know you're going to get that instant help. You don't need to worry about, oh, maybe my thing won't be answered by tomorrow before school. And then our unique value proposition is we're just a safe and convenient way for students to get the help that they need around the clock, no matter what else they're involved in, how busy they are. And it'll be tailored to their school curriculum. They don't have to worry about their tutor not knowing what they're learning, and basically we just sell that aspect of convenience.
Okay, our first MVP type is our landing page / mockup site. And this is a picture of our first page, and it is actually online right now. And so for the first month of our MVP, we are going to be using our website as a landing page where like people who are interested in our site can go there and subscribe to our email newsletters or watch our like demo video or like further explore the site. And after that first month, our goal is to get some volunteer tutors to actually run the site and actually tutor kids out there. So our website program that we're using is Wix, and they have analytics on there which will show us where people come from to get to our site, like if they clicked on our link from our email or they just searched us on Google and like that. Because we're going to run just a mock-up, we are actually going to only do math tutoring services, and that'll be through a screen sharing and like face-to-face tutoring online through a program called GoToMeeting. Our other services that will be on the mock-up site will be our instructional videos and our chat room. Our goal of the mock-up site is really just to see if students like learning this way, and if this is like actually something that they can see like being useful to them. We're gonna have a section for like reviews and like suggestions that we will look at in order to like make the changes. Our next MVP type is the social media promotion. Right now, we are going to use Twitter and Facebook, just to build a community with our customers and just update them on information and hopefully like send them back to our landing page. Right now, we don't have our Facebook page completely built out, but we have started a Twitter account. And as you can see, we actually started to tweet some stuff here. We actually ran a poll on Twitter that got 86 votes, and we asked kids what they thought the most difficult math topic was, and out of those 81 votes, 34% said calculus. Our third MVP type is we're going to be advertising our website and service. Our first advertising is we're going to run Facebook ads, and that's pretty simple. It's really just, we're going to send out pay-per-click Facebook ads. The hard part about that is we're going to have to ensure that we have the right demographic to send out our ads to. So to ensure that we're getting the most bang for our buck. The other form of advertising is we're going to do a flyer ad campaign. And this is this is kind of like our main form of advertising because we're going to really target kids at Conant. So we're hoping to pass out the flyers before school when kids are walking in. Also, to increase our exposure, we're going to be we're hoping that we can pass out our flyers at sporting events and booster club meetings, because we feel that we could also get to other schools at sporting events, and we can get to the parents at booster club meetings. Yeah, and our fourth MVP is email blasts from MailChimp, and this is we're going to be using their free plan, which gets us 12,000 emails per month, and we can have up to 2,000 subscribers. And people can subscribe to our MailChimp list from our website. And really the main goal of this is to see how many people really are interested about our service enough to use their email, like open up the email link and like go to our site. And we can find out that information with the MailChimp's analytics, which will tell us if they even received it, if they opened it, and if they actually like click the link to go to our website. And through that, we'll be sending out weekly newsletters, which we can build right off the email or MailChimp site. All right, so for our timeline, throughout February, we're going to be designing, printing, and start distribution of the flyers. And we're also going to finalize the demographics of our Facebook ads so we can get those out. Near the end of February and beginning of March, we're going to we're going to have our Facebook Facebook page built out, and we're going to have our Twitter continuing, just posting like polls and asking people like what they think about our site. And we're going to be continuing the flyer campaign. March through April is really like where our main like source of information is going to come from, and that's where we're going to be running our actual tutoring experiments to see how people react to the tutoring, like what we need to change. And another thing I forgot to mention, actually, in February, we're going to be asking people if they'd like to be a volunteer tutor for our actual MVP experiment. And our MVP cost comes out to $444. We will need a 3-month subscription to the Wix Unlimited plan, which comes out to $66. We found out that it's going to be about $30 a month to receive 1,000 clicks for Facebook for our flyer advertising. We brought the cost to $200, and that's going to be just to design and print them out. And maybe if we're going to do door-to-door around neighborhoods, we might need to hire a couple extra kids to help just distribute the flyers. Actually, yeah. So for Go Animate, this is going to be the program we use to enhance our explainer video. Right now, we're not really happy with the sound quality on the video, so we're going to get someone else to do the voice and maybe clarify some things a little bit better so we can put that explainer video up. And that's going to be $40 for 1 month. And then our GoToMeeting is what we're going to be using to run the tutoring sessions. So we'll need that for the 2 months that we run the experiment, and that's going to be $24 a month, come out to $48.
I'm gonna open.
Make sure you add a closing slide to that, okay? Nice job. 14 minutes, though. We got to shorten it up. Kevin, you start. I think half the presentation was just you at the end. So you got to really clean that up. My recommendation, because you have, I don't know if you could streamline your MVP strategies because you have 4 different strategies going on, but try to maybe incorporate your timeline and your goals as you talk about them. So you don't have to, guys, hold up. So you don't have to repeat some of the things you were saying. And it might be helpful to maybe divide up the MVP part so Kevin's not talking as long, and maybe have one more person interject and maybe share that space with Kevin. Kevin, be careful with, I know it's the first time you're running it, but you want to make sure that your pauses are too long. Okay, you want to try to get through your content much more efficiently. But again, that'll do with practice. Okay, I know you're going to practice this weekend and nail it. Ms. Shaw, real quick, because we
Yeah, very quickly, I think you gave way too much detail on each point. To me, be brief and don't repeat the words that is already out there on the presentation, because I can read that. So you want to say your goal and what you were trying to do. That's it. And I thought that you were giving a lot of stories on each point. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
yeah. Abbas?
I really liked your landing page, and I liked how you guys gave goals. Like, what are you gonna do? But how are you guys gonna employ? What are your requirements for employing the tutors? What if there's high schoolers that also want to help? What's your requirements?
That was something that we were gonna open up later on. Actually, one of our first ideas was gonna be to have some seniors help out middle school students and then maybe use that for LCAP hours. So that was something that we were planning on opening up to. But I think one of the main goals for our tutors is to have them be tutors within our district. So teachers, you could have your own teacher as one of your tutors.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys said that, and this was great that you brought up the single feature test, or you did the Twitter survey, and you said almost half of those surveyed said that they need help with calculus. And that might be your single feature test, is you find tutors that can tutor calculus, and you run that experiment for kids who need help with calculus. And then that's where you'll get all your feedback and data, because if you have 40-something students already just from that small survey, I'm sure there's a lot more out there that might need that help. So that's kind of, my suggestion would be to seek out people who know calculus, who'd be willing to tutor it. The big challenge I think you have is, are they going to be willing to do this for free? Because you have no tutor cost built in, which is fine. Now, are you going to charge in your experiment? Are you going to charge? So this is going to be a free service, okay? So what happens if you can't find people who are willing to do it from a volunteer perspective? What's plan B? So you got to be able to answer that. Yeah. So think about that, you might have to narrow some of your other MVP costs if there's some sort of incentive you think you're going to need to attract people to provide tutoring. Now, you might be able to get seniors, okay, or AP students who can use it as part of their volunteer hours and try to seek that out. So there's ways around it. So, okay, we gotta move on, otherwise we're gonna run out of time.